Hi. I just got back from a very nice vacation at the beach with my best friend, and it was about a week or so long, and it was very nice, but the entire time I was out there, I was thinking about different videos that I could make for you, and it's actually kind of hard, for me at least, to come up with solid ideas. But I decided today I'd like to talk about something that I am very passionate about, which is music. And today I'll be focusing on vinyl releases within the past year or so. So, like, new music to come out, and new albums that I like a lot. So, to start things off, I would like to talk about Guilty of Everything by Nothing. Nothing is a Philadelphia-based band, and they are a shoegaze band, almost, if that means anything to you. They're very reverb heavy, and it's really nice to listen to, very atmospheric music. And Bent Nail is the biggest single to come off of this record, and it's also the most straightforward punk sounding song, and even then it's still not really hard. Yeah, it's a really good album and very relaxing to listen to. The lyrics are very sad and talk about social issues, well, social things going on within the lead singer's life, as well as different family issues that have gone on. And it's just nice to listen to when you're trying to relax, to me at least. Yeah, Guilty of Everything by Nothing. It was released on Relapse Records, which is kind of odd because they're a very heavy metal label, but at the same time I'm glad it was released on that record, or on that label, because Relapse is probably my favorite record label to date. Yeah. The next record is Christmas Island by the band Andrew Jackson Jihad. They are a Phoenix-based punk band with some very heavy folk influences. A lot of their shows are acoustic guitar and stand-up bass. They've recently added a keyboard slash guitar slash like backing vocal guy, a drum set player named Deacon, and a cellist who is featured on, I want to say, like every song on this record. And it doesn't really sound that out of place, which is surprising to me. I know as soon as I heard that they were adding a cellist, I was a little bit confused, but it sounds really nice, actually. Yeah, it's Temple Grandin is the single off of this, and I certainly had never heard of her and her work until I listened to this record, and it's a nice, the overall theme for this record, I'd have to say, is just like dealing with who you are as a person, and like understanding that you can be strong by yourself. That might be a little bit too much, but that's what I get from this record when I listen to it. It's very sad. There are some extremely sad songs on this, but Children of God, Temple Grandin, Cocapelli Face Tattoo, Linda Ronstadt, Angel of Death. Angel of Death is probably one of my favorite closing tracks on any album. It's such a powerful song. It makes me smile every time I listen to it. But what I really like about this is the album design. The center of the album doesn't have any text. It's just this giant piece, and it's so mesmerizing and pretty to look at. Like, seeing it in person is amazing. And when I first saw it, I just stared at it for a couple of minutes because it was just so much to take in. The back features more of speckles. Well, the track listing is also here. It was released on Side 1 Dummy Records, which I didn't know a lot about the label before this release, but they release a lot of punk and pop punk bands as well. Yeah, I bought the deluxe edition of this vinyl, which came with a skateboard deck, a limited edition t-shirt, a giant Snuggie that has the band's logo on it, and one of the like things that you put over your eyes when you sleep, like the blinders, and it has "I Wanna Rock Out in My Dreams" written on it. It's kind of, I love it. And also, it came with colored vinyl, and I opted for the white with the blue and purple splotches. And I hope it comes out clear enough, but it's such a pretty thing to look at. It's really nice. And I just love colored vinyl so much. Yeah, it's really pretty. This back. Yeah. Christmas Island by AJJ. The next record is a special release for Record Store Day, and it's off of the Tank Crimes record label. Tank Crimes is a Oakland-based record label that's released a lot of stuff by Municipal Waste, as well as Toxic Holocaust and Final Conflict, a lot of like hardcore and punk bands. And what's cool about that record label is that it's like basically one guy who runs it out of his garage, and it's an amazing label. But yeah, this is Hang 10 by Ghoul. Ghoul is kind of like the band Ghost in that they have a character, or probably more like Guar, and that the band members all have these like long backgrounds talking about like their origins, and they're billed as being from Creepsylvania, which is like this horrible, like decrepit, like evil town, evil place, and like they live in the catacombs under it. And at the same time, it's really wacky because they're a thrash metal band, but they have heavy surf rock influences. So it's kind of like the Beach Boys meets Slayer, but it actually works really well, and they're probably one of my favorite metal bands out today. It's so interesting what they're doing. It's not the same like mundane thing over and over again. Their live show is a lot like Guar's, and that there's like cornstarch like dyed red, like being sprayed everywhere and stuff like that. It's really cool. But yeah, this is a mostly instrumental album. The track Krieg features some features some vocals, but the back, this is all a complete story of what's going on in the record. And it's basically about a motorcycle gang that takes over Creepsylvania and how the townspeople, as well as the local cult, deal with it. And it's a really great instrumental record. It's really good. The next album is probably the polar opposite of thrash metal, even though the lead singer, the main person, is a giant metal fan. It's a remaster of All Hail West Texas that was released this past year. Excuse me. And a lot of the tracks on it, it's the entire original album, completely remastered, and it also features some bonus tracks, and they are, excuse me, Hard Band Song, Answering the Phone, Indonesia, Midland, An Alternative Take of Jenny, Tape Travel is Lonely, and my personal favorite, Waco. This record is probably one of the most well-known Mountain Goats records. It features some of their biggest hits like Best Ever Death Metal Band, Color in Your Cheeks, Fall of the Star High School Running Back, Pink and Blue, and it's about it follows just a different cast of characters and their lives and the different situations that they go through. And what's nice about this is that the inside is chock full of liner notes, just like talking about John Darnielle's state of mind while recording this, and how the album got put out, as well as like different phrases and quotes by different people that just like reflect on any and everything throughout life. And it's such a good record. It's incredible. And this was released on Merge Records. Yeah. All Hail West Texas by the Mountain Goats. The next record is another release off of Relapse. The Nothing record being also off Relapse. And it's the newest Red Fang album, Whales and Leeches. Or the newest full length, I should say. They've put out a couple singles here and there. But yeah, I don't know if it transfers over too well, but there's this holographic design on the cover. Yeah, I hope you guys can see it, because it's such an interesting effect. And it's a hard rock, heavy metal record. The inside is nothing too special. It's a lot of like animal photos, and then just like completely red on this side. Same thing with the back. It's more of the design of the record, and I think it's really cool. But I bought the special edition of the vinyl, as well as like the super like premium deluxe edition of the release, and it came with the autographed skateboard deck. I'm pretty sure it's autographed. A poster, a like 4.5 by 4.5 foot banner that has the album artwork on it, and like a limited edition t-shirt as well as a deluxe edition of this CD. The CD is a quad fold, so it's really cool to open and like mess with. And this is also a colored vinyl. It's this clear red, maybe not completely clear, but this red color, and it looks like a giant lollipop almost. It's really pretty. And the album is 2 discs. Side C and side D are all are 2 individual songs that so they're pretty long songs, to say the least. But the big single off of this was Blood Like Cream. No Hope is also a great song. Doan is a great song. I believe Blood Like Cream, the music video had Fred Armisen. I'm not sure how to say his last name, but from Portlandia. He gets like eaten by a zombie. It's a really cool. Red Fang is based out of Portland, so that's the connection there. But yeah, it's a really cool music video and really silly. And the next record is also Whales and Leeches, but about a week or so before the initial release of the album, Relapse sent out 500 copies of this test pressing, or just this original pressing of the album, and it's just paper cover with the ink stamp, and it's just like a standard black vinyl, but they released it to major record stores throughout the States, 500 copies, and the closest, it was 1 per store as well, which meant it was really hard to get a hold of. And the closest record store to me was Waterloo Records out of Austin, Texas, and that's about 100 miles away. So as soon as the message popped up on Facebook, I called Waterloo and had them. I bought it over the phone and had them mail it to me because I just needed this. Yeah, you can see it right there. The 1 out of 500, and I'm really happy to have it. And the last thing I have to show you is the new St. Vincent record, self-titled. It's off of Republic Records. Excuse me. And the design of the record is really almost intimidating. It's unlike any of the previous album covers, as it features a full body portrait of her. Everything else has been just like close-up shots of her face. But yeah, it's just really powerful to look at, and I love it. And the inside is also a photo of her. These like giant granite statues almost, or maybe marble. I'm not too sure. Yeah. And the back has more of the honeycomb pattern, and then it's the triangle and the track listing. And the big single off of this is Digital Witness, and I have the special edition of this album, which meant it came with a Digital Witness single, but it's this triangle shape, and the inside portion has the grooves in it. Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought it was the coolest thing ever, because I've never seen vinyls cut that way before. And yeah, Digital Witness is the biggest single off of this, but I have to say that Huey Newton is probably my favorite song off the record. The second half of that song is just so cool. It's just really, really cool to me. And yeah, St. Vincent by St. Vincent. And that's everything I have to show you today. I have a pretty large record collection, I think. I have around 600 vinyls and probably around two to 300 CDs, and like a lot more digital releases, which I guess would be hard to show you. But yeah, I have a ton of music, and if you guys would like to see more of my collection, please let me know. And if you have any more video ideas, please let me know as well. I would always love to hear back from you, and just let me know things that I could improve on. Be very nice. So yeah, that's it for today, and if you want to hear any more, just let me know. Thank you, and thanks for watching.